Hello, team. Welcome to another team training. I've got an awesome guest here with us who's talking about a very important topic that many of us struggle with, and that is enrolling. So we're going to be talking about enrolling like a boss with Mandy Hicks. Hi, Mandy.
Hello.
And you guys, you want to listen to Mandy because she was the top enroller in all of the entire company in February. And that is incredible. She enrolled 13 people in February. And so we can't wait to pick your brain in here, how you did it, all answering all our questions so that we can duplicate this ourselves. And you earned a trip to home office, the Ignite to Unite.
Unite to Ignite.
Unite to Ignite, right?
Yes. So excited.
That's so exciting. I'm so proud of you. And you said that was a big part of your motivation, right?
Yes. So whenever they said that, like, there was an announcement and I was like, okay, what's this about? I went to watch the video and like they started talking about like top 25 for PV, and I almost turned the video off. I was like I've seen people sell like 5, 10, almost 20,000 worth, and I was like, there's no way. But I kept listening, and that's when they started talking about enrolling, and I was like, oh, I got this. And I actually wanted to do it in 1 month instead of the 3.
Amazing. And you did it.
I did it.
So this was very intentional, right? Like it wasn't like, oops, I accidentally enrolled and may accidentally earned the trip, right? It was
I wish, but no.
I love it though. I love that you were intentional and you're like, I want to go on that trip. I'm going to earn this. And you knew that enrolling was like going to be not as hard as like the PV. Cause there's people who are selling like tens of thousands of dollars of our, $15 nails. Right. And so you were like, no, let's go with, let's do enrolling because, people only get sometimes double digits, sometimes, but sometimes they only get a handful. And so tell us kind of your mindset, what like going into that and how you did it all. We want to know all the things, Mandy.
So first of all, I feel like I have you to thank because that boot camp was like so awesome. So you did the boot camp at the end of January, right? And I like immediately got a new stylist. And then going into February, I got a couple more. So I was excited about that. But then let's see, I wrote down February 9th is whenever they announced the Unite to Ignite. And I was like, okay, let's do this. So I kind of I was following your boot camp super closely. I mean, like every single step. But when they announced that, I was like, I'm kicking it into high gear. And like, I was just very, very, very intentional. I followed it to a T. So like the FAQ group, posting in your FAQ group regularly, which I've had an FAQ group since you did this last time. But I never really
in October. You mean like when I did the boot camp in October?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like I started it then and I was adding people to it. But I never like posted in there a lot. So I started doing that. And then the business blessings with a call to action. And you are right. It's so important. Every single time I post a business blessing with a call to action, I immediately get people joining my FAQ group. And then the follow-up. So set in an actual alarm, and follow-ups is something I've never been super good at, but pick a date with them, set an alarm in my phone to follow up with them. And then like reminders and keep going back to it and keep touching base with them. And then also like your scripts on what to say were super helpful. I got a couple of people signed up just from those, like a couple customers that have been customers of mine for a while that I never even thought to offer the business to. There was a script for, specifically for those that I used. And that worked. And just like everything that I was doing was working. And I really feel like I have you to thank for that. But that Unite to Ignite, I was like, I got this. And that kit deal, like,
Yes, which is
so the
still going
kit deal,
on. Well, the
it is.
kit, February was February, the digital kit.
Um,
I think it was.
maybe.
I
I
think
don't
it
actually
was,
remember
but
that.
still, I mean, there's still a kit deal right now, that we need to take advantage of.
Yeah, I've not really had a lot of people use the digital because I don't talk about it a lot because the kit is just such an insane
Oh,
deal.
such a good deal. It's
But
such a good deal.
if money is an issue, I'll mention it. But yeah, everybody usually goes for the kit. It's such a good deal.
Mhm.
And so I've been doing Color Street for about 2 years now, and a lot of the people that signed up with me were like people that I've just made friends with and that I've mentioned the business to multiple times, and they've always told me like, I'm thinking about it. I might, one of these days, and that kit deal just sent them over the edge. So
Yeah.
ultimately, like, creating those relationships are super important because all these people I've become really close with, and they finally, had that good offer, and they're like, okay, I trust you. Let's do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's something I wanted to mention is that like this didn't all just magically happen. Like there's been a lot of seeds planted in the past that have built up to this because I know you have an awesome VIP group. You have some amazing customers that love you and love to support you. So I think
Yes.
that's a big part of it as well, right?
Yes, yes. I love that when we did the subscription boxes, doing the Beat Kelly challenge was
Yeah.
so fun. Everybody loved
Yes.
beating you.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, we did this subscription box challenge where it was like try to beat Kelly, and Mandy was like, oh, bring it, like let's
Yeah,
go.
yes. And my
And
whole team was just rooting for, like, all of my customers were just rooting for me. They're like, I don't even know Kelly, but let's beat her.
they're like, yes, let's beat this random Kelly girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were super invested, which showed me like, okay, clearly these customers love Mandy, and like has put in the work to like build those relationships and support you because you did end up beating me.
Oh yeah, I did.
How many did you get again? I can't remember what.
Actually, I think we tied at 29.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? 29 subscription boxes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
Someone, okay, maybe it was
people,
someone else that beat me.
oh yeah, there was one that was at 32 and I was jealous. I was trying to beat her actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but no, 13, a lot of them were subscribers of mine. So like I lost them, but I was going for the Glow All Out bonus too, those bonuses. So that was another motivation for me. So I lost a bunch of subscribers, but I made big bonuses. So
Yes. I mean, I love that so what would you say has helped you build relationships with your customers and your VIPs?
Um, just talking to people. I just talk to everybody and I share something that I love. And then as far as like getting people excited about joining or interested in joining, like every single thing that excites me about the business, I don't care what it is. It could be the smallest little thing I
Yeah.
post about with a call to action and then follow the steps from there. I just showing my excitement, it gets everybody else excited about it. And I
Yeah.
mean, it's just something that I'm very passionate about, and you have to be, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, like passion is magnetic. Like it just brings people to you.
It
People can
absolutely
feel
is.
that they can feel that in your posts, in your voice, and they get excited too. So I think that's a lesson right there, just to like stay passionate or show your passion on the things that you're really excited about, because I think your customers will be like, oh, tell me more, like it
Yeah,
is contagious. Passion is
it is.
very contagious.
I would say that that is probably my biggest tip is just to show everything that excites you about the business. Talk about it. Talk about it on Facebook, in your group, in your FAQ group, on your stories, in your Instagram, all the places with a call to action. And I'm telling you, every single time that I post a business blessing, I don't care how small it is, I've immediately got people joining my FAQ group, and then I send them your message and then set a time to follow up with them. And I've already enrolled 5 this month.
Amazing.
So yeah.
That's so
And I'm
amazing.
not gonna stop. I'm going to keep going.
Yes, she's not stopping. I mean, it's only the 18th. Like, keep going, girl.
Yeah.
Because we do have that join special. So like, guys, don't forget to, remind people about that. And remind them frequently. And I think that, I love also that you're doing these calls to action, constantly, because I feel like when people take action and then they experience the product or whatever it is that you're, recommending they do, then they feel a little even more connected to you, even more connected to the product, and they're like experiencing it for themselves,
Yes.
Yeah. Any other, here's the other thing I want to say, because I know there's going to be people that are like, okay, well, I did some of the things in the boot camp and I didn't get those same results. And I think something that we need to remember is like, if you're not getting those same results, then you're probably you're probably in still in seed planting mode. You know what I mean? Where you're not seeing the fruits of your labor yet. You're not seeing the blossoms yet, but you just keeps planting those seeds, and eventually, that will build momentum and you'll start getting results.
Yes,
any thoughts on
exactly. Well, because like I said, I've been doing this for 2 years, and majority of the people that signed up were the people that have been in my what do you call it, funnel, where I placed them for a potential stylist, and just made friends with them. And I mean, you have to build that relationship, and they're more likely to sign up with you if they trust you, and you have to work together. So you have to work well together. So
yeah. And do you know what else I think? I think a lot of people don't even know that that's an option, that they can join your team. That's another reason why I think it's important to put a call to action out there, is like, hey, just like, if you're interested, here's this opportunity, check out my FAQ group. I think people don't always realize that, this is something I could do too, or, she's, I've had people ask me like, I didn't know that you were accepting, stylists to join your team. And I'm like, yes, I'm always accepting people. But, people don't know until you literally ask. So I always tell my kids, the answer, if you don't ask, the answers are already no. So you gotta ask, which is where the call to action comes in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I just literally, and following it so closely, posting once a week, even more sometimes, is so important. I can't stress it enough. It's so important. Literally, when I started doing that and then following the steps after, it just started happening.
Yes, I know you're inspiring me, reminding me I need to, it used to be such a good habit. And then I kind of stopped when there were a lot of compliance, things. And then I feel like now, we have the word, we know to add the disclaimer. We know exactly what disclaimer to add. So it's we're a little more free. And I need to get back in the habit of posting weekly with a call to action. Not only in the call to action is to join your FAQ group. And here's why it works, is because they don't feel pressure to join you when they're like, I can just stalk this group. I'll literally say in my call to action, stalk my, if you're interested, stalk my FAQ group, because there's no pressure when you're like, I just want to sneak around, poke around and see what this is all about without anyone jumping down my throat. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the message too, that was FYI, I'm a no pressure kind of girl. What questions you have? And it's so important to end in a question so that they feel, like they need to respond back just
Mhm.
really good feedback from your boot camp. And
Aw,
everybody's
that
like,
makes me
oh my
so
gosh,
happy.
it really was. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? I'm like, I threw your boot camp in a board and I'm like, share, share, share. I'm just sharing it to everybody. I love it so much. It's done wonders for me.
Yeah, and I think you've inspired me. I think we need to do another round probably.
Let's do it.
So
Oh my gosh, let's do it.
let's do
I will
it.
take you down, Kelly.
Oh no, I've been challenged.
I love a good competition, but a friendly competition.
Yeah, but I definitely think, sometimes just having a boot camp, some sort of challenge can kind of like kick your butt in gear. So maybe we will
Love
start
the
that
challenge.
again, maybe even tomorrow.
Let's do it.
And Team nailed it. Maybe we'll start tomorrow. But yeah, and one other thing that you mentioned that I think is important is you said like we became friends. Like you became friends with your customers. And I think that's something that we forget. Sometimes we get a little bit too in like business mode, and it's like,
Let me show you. Okay, so I wrote down, and this is not just February. I went ahead and did the whole year to kind of give a better idea. So I've enrolled 27 this year so far.
in
So I've got
2023. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So I've got 3 kidnappers, which you're gonna have some kidnappers, and they obviously told me I just want the kit. Um, 4 silent watchers. So again, people that have never liked anything. Some of them weren't even in my group and messaged me
Wow.
and was like, hey, where do I sign up? Like silent watchers. So 4 of those.
Mhm.
And then 5 that were customers that I sent out that message that was like, hey, I know you love the product. I can't remember exactly what you said, but so 5 of those. And then 2 people from parties. By the way, those parties had 0 sales. So there's no such thing as a best party because you never know who's watching. Okay. But 13 of people that I've been after for 2 years. 13 of my friends that I've made friends with, and none of which I've ever met in person.
Mhm.
So yeah, close friends through Color Street that finally decided to join because of those seeds.
Wow.
So
I love that you
that's
tracked
big.
it too.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that
I
is
in a
important
rush
data.
did this earlier because I was like, wait, I need some more information. I was
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
nervous about coming
Like
here.
I always say tracking reveals truth. And so when you're, collecting that data and saying like, okay, where are they coming from? What kind of, like who are they? Like kidnappers or whatever. And then, how like are they working the business or not, just like taking a look at that data so that you can repeat what's working. I love it so much, Mandy.
To see what's working the most. Yeah. And just that building those relationships is what is working the most. And then those kit deals, it just put them over the edge, because I've been
Yeah.
talking to them and talking to them and talking to them. And a lot of them were customers and whatnot, but they see the excitement. Everything's exciting in my VIP group, and
I love
I've
it.
had people tell me that they literally only get on Facebook to come and see, my VIP, like what's going on, with
That's
Mandy.
so cute. Tell me
So
how you portray your enthusiasm in like a post, right? Sometimes it's hard to share your enthusiasm in a post. What are some ways that you do that? Like that you share your passion?
okay, so well, first of all, the algorithms kind of suck sometimes. So regularly posting so everybody sees anything, but that's besides the point. Just colorful, like I try to do like centered pictures, I always try to
Mhm.
have just this light about me and my like pictures, just like lots of emojis and also being myself, like nothing salesy, not like, hello, how are you? It's like, hey girl, like just be myself and everybody just feels my energy from it. I guess. I don't know. That's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah, yeah,
Doesn't like to be
that's great.
salesy, just
Yeah.
very me.
It's just like girlfriend talk. It's like you're just talking to another girl and saying like, I'm so excited about this here, and here's why, and
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
fun to share. And like some people think that sharing can be scary, and like, there's nothing scary about it. I read in a book, actually, this book, Get Over Your Damn Self. It's such a good
Mhm.
book.
Such a good
Um,
book.
yes, I've been reading it and I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about?
Um,
Um,
showing your passion, building relationships, being yourself, girlfriend speak, talking like like you normally would. It'll
lost
come to
it.
you.
It's fine. But
Yeah, but
that's a
definitely
good book.
read that
It's
book.
very good. Yeah,
It's
really good book.
I've read it like twice now. It's very good. And there's a workbook that goes with it. So
There
get the
is.
workbook
Yeah.
too.
My team and I are working on, like we meet every week, and it's been a lot of fun too.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. So any other tips? What about for the people that are like, well, I don't know, like that are kind of like having a hard time even wanting to recruit? What would
For
you
your
say to
team.
those? Yeah, like to
Oh,
people,
that's
to
what I was gonna
stylists.
that's what I was gonna say. I read in the book that you're doing them a disservice by not offering the opportunity to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like honestly, like why would you not want them to like have fun and have like free nails and like make extra money? Why would you not offer it? You know what I mean? Like it's a
Yeah.
no-brainer. So that's like you're doing them a disservice by not mentioning it. There's nothing to be afraid of. If somebody says no, just be like, cool, like maybe you want a party. Like I don't know, but offer it.
Mm-hmm.
I offer it to everybody. And this book also talks about like start with the business and then fall back on the products too, which I kind of gotta look a little bit more into. But yeah, I mean, offer it because it's you like giving them a favor because they could excel. Like when I
Yeah.
signed up, I I just I actually like saw, and I was a silent member, and I saw a nail fee in my now uplines group. And so I finally like I loved it, and I was like, okay, I want that. And I messaged
Mhm.
her and I was like, hey, what set is this? And she's like, oh, that's actually 4 sets combined. Offer the buy three get one. And then
Mhm.
I was like, financially not okay to do that, to like get a buy three get one.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, I could probably sell. Like, where do I sign up? And like that's how I started. I just wanted free nail polish. That's it. Because I figured
Yeah.
I could probably get some rewards.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a training with Kelly France. Like, what? So like, you just never know. Like offer it because they could excel too.
Yeah. That's so true. I mean, like,
You're doing them a favor.
who are we to say no for them? Like, even if it's just the simplest thing, like they get to be part of our community, or which is amazing, by the way, or they get to just make like even like some Starbucks money. Like who are we to not mention it? You know what I mean? Mention the option, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, this has been really inspiring. Like I love everything you said. Let me look and see if we have any questions in the team real quick. Sorry. Let's see. Yeah, everyone's just saying such a great reminder to remain consistent. You put your face out there all the time too, so they can see your enthusiasm. Someone said that you
That's
put your
so
face.
important. That's so important. So like
Yeah.
people are it's like people are more apt to buy from you or join your team if they feel like they know you. Like I said, majority of these people I've never met in person, but they feel like they know me because they see me a lot. So I think that
Mhm.
that is super important. I was telling my team the other day, like, I feel like me and Kelly France are like best friends because because I see her face so much. Like, I feel like I know you. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, that's the power of like, having a strong personal brand is when people feel like, I mean, there's people I follow on social media that I'm like, you're my best friend. You just don't know it. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Not
where
in a
you
stalker
just,
way, stalkerish. No,
Yeah, but where you just feel very connected to them and, they're relatable and they have their quirks and you love them for it. And so I think that's where, if you're struggling with even those simple things, that's where personal development comes in.
Yeah.
Where it's important to read personal development books or business books like Get Over Your Damn Self, listen to those personal development podcasts to like boost your self-esteem and inspire you, motivate you, encourage you, uplift you to have the confidence, like put yourself out there a little bit more. And as you practice and get better at it, it's going to get easier and people are going to feel so much more connected to you. I mean, and you got to start somewhere. Like if you scroll back to some of my first live videos or my, first posts or whatever, like, yeah, they're awkward and they're like, I'm struggling with what to say. And we all start somewhere, right? And then we get better as we practice more and more.
I had zero confidence before Color Street. Zero.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think helped you? Do you think just like taking action on the little things kind of helped you boost your confidence?
I think it's hitting my goals and then like taking those goals and saying, okay, I'm going to do that in half the time next month, and then like doing it. And then whenever I do it, I'm like, okay, so like, I'm pretty cool.
Yeah. You're like, I have evidence. Look at this. I did this. So let's see if I can do the next thing. Right.
In Mexico in my first year, Jamaica in my second year, I'm pumped. Like, and I want everybody to come with me. I want a whole team. Like the Dreamers were there and they had these cute little cups and there was like 15 of them. And I was like, I want to be a whole team of my team at, vacation.
Yeah.
I want that.
You're like, I want the matching cups. I want,
yeah. All of that.
Yes, I love it. And it really is, when you start doing these little things and you're getting these little wins, it's just like a boost. And then you're like, let's see what else I can do. So I love that you are kind of in competition with your own self and you're trying to like beat your PR. That's what we used to call it in cross country in high school. Like you got to beat your PR, which is your personal record, and like keep pushing yourself and keep trying to like beat those personal records of your own. And that is definitely how your confidence increase and how you see more success. So, and of course the passion too, which you're obviously so good at. So any other final words of wisdom you want to part with us before we wrap it up?
I think we covered everything. I mean, honestly, biggest tip, anything new and that excites you about the business, put it out there. Let it excite other people. Anything, everything.
Yeah, don't hold back. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Mandy. This has been really inspiring, and you have inspired me to want to host another boot camp. So let's do it. Let's start tomorrow. Hey.
All right. I'm down. I'm here for all your challenges.
Cool. All right. Thank you so much, Mandy. And thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.